This is Irontrader. It is Monday morning, so that means it's time to go to work. So as usual, we are going to review crude oil here and natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell any stock, buy ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we have crude oil, your daily and your weekly chart. Now, let's just take a look here on the daily. Well, we can see here, big red candle here, okay? And we made a lower low. Now, we were trading off this box scenario here, which was 84.49. Today's low here, we got as low as 84.33. Now, again, this box is still very much intact as long as you can hold that 84.49 on the bottom. And then we have your top is your 87.67. So we're just trading this going right here. Just because you spike below, that's still fine. That's just like when we traded here. Okay, yeah, you got some spikes below, but as long as you're holding that candle right there, your box was still nicely intact here, okay? So again, what we're also looking for here is if this does go lower, okay? So today's low here, we have that 84.33. The target that we're looking for here would be 83.80, okay? So that's really not that far away, 84.33. 83.80, that would be your 21 SMA. Now, if that is lost, we come right to the top here, 83.21, and then always look to the left at 83.12, okay? So now, basically, what happened was over the weekend, they were talking about it on Friday, where Iran was going to attack Israel. Well, over the weekend, they did, and they sent up 300 drones and missiles, but 99% of that was defeated, okay? So that's why oil is just, it's sold off here today. But again, if you think that's the end of this, I think you'll be wrong, okay? This is not going to end anytime soon, okay? So you have to look at that and then also look at seasonality coming into play. And let's see here, hold on. Seasonality coming into play, and then everything else that's going to go here with the oil trade. Okay, now remember, OPEC is cutting that 2.2 million barrels per day. Russia is cutting oil here. So what you're going to do is here, before you know it, it's going to be a supply and demand issue. And I think the demand is going to outweigh the supply here. So what I'm looking for here is any downside is a buying opportunity. So let's just see where this is going to end up here today. Okay, so what we want to watch on a closing basis is the top of that candle, and that's at 84.49. That brings us all still right intact here in your box that we're trading. Now, again, if that's lost, we come down here to that nice key 21 SMA here. Now, let's look on the upside. Well, what we want to first watch is right now we're sitting at live 84.99. Okay, so what we want to do is watch Friday's low. Now that becomes resistance. So we want to watch 85.24. And then right above that, here's what we want to do is this key 8 simple moving average at 85.97. Okay, so that's what we want to watch there on the upside. Now, again, if we can get above that, then we just take right there. That's what we're looking for, is that 86.38, and then we have 86.63, and then we follow the candles. 86.98, 87.10, 87.22, and then we can come here, 87.63, and then your big retest that we had there on Friday was 87.67. So we went up very, very nicely, but obviously you can see where it just couldn't hold it and sold right on off here. So again, just watch that 8 SMA on the upside. That's going to be very key. A close above, we can follow the candles, and then your target, big target, is 87.67. And then here on the downside, well, we want to watch this 84.49, and then watch today's lows here so far, 84.33, and then we have your target at 83.80. If that's lost, you have 83.21, and then we have your 83.12. Those are those targets. Now, again, we got to see how the day trades. And I'll be back here at midday trading, and we'll take a look here at oil and natural gas, as we always do, and we'll add something always to the mix. And again, we'll see where we stand. So if we lose all this, then we have a lot of good targets that'll come all the way on down here to your 50-day. But when we look at this, your 50-day crossed above your 200-day, very, very bullish. Your 21 still is on a nice trajectory to the upside. Now, your 8-day here, where basically you just have it where it's rounding off, but we got to see where the candle's going to shake out here today. That's going to be key. Now, your RSI here, we're coming off here a little bit. Your green close below your red here on your MACD. obviously because we have these red candles. So that's showing a little bit of bearishness going on here. So we got to basically see what's happening with the old candlesticks here today. Now, here on your MACD, on your weekly, that's still looking good. RSI looking good. And what we have here is now, this is going to be very interesting because what we have here, and it looks kind of a little bit like a big bull flag going on a weekly chart, okay? Here's your pole, and then here we have the flag. So always watch it. Now, again, if you lose the bottom here of this candle, which is 82.60, or you lose this 100 SMA here, 82.37 on your 8-day, well, then that pattern is negated. But however, this is building up to be a bull flag going on, so just keep your eye on that. Now, your 8-day here, look at there, see? So we, just matter of time, came up, and now you're at 82.47. Your 100-day is at 82.37, so now we made a bullish cross with your 8-day over your 100-day, okay? So it's over the 50, over the 21-day, and we're above that key 200 SMA. So we're looking here very, very bullish. And again, watch this because this could be a possible, again, possible bull flag here in play. Okay, so don't get negative. You know what I'm saying? Trade the market. Okay, trade the charts. But what we have here today is 84.85. We had that nice target up here. Now, again, if we can bust above this 87.67, then your next target is going to be 87.83. And then you have 88.29. And then this is what we're looking for. Here, this is that 89.85, call it $90. We can venture on above that, 91.23, 91.88, 92.43, and then 95.03. That's the following target. So big targets here. Look at this price channel. Look at $90, and then we're going to look at $95 if we can bust through that 87.67. But keep your eye on this. Okay, this is a possible bull flag in play here. It's not developed yet, but we've got to see how it's going to shake out. Okay, so just be today, what you want to do is just watch that 8 SMA on the upside and then watch today's low here at that 84.33 on the downside. Okay, let's take a look here at old natty gas. Okay, here we have natural gas. Now we'll take a look here on the weekly. Now what we have here, okay, this is going to be very, very crucial, 1.756 on a closing basis on Friday. Now today's only Monday. It hasn't even started yet, pretty much. So this is what we want to do. Okay, so what we had here is you had 3 red candles on the downside. You can see where that 8-day just held it all down. And then we had 3 nice green candles with higher highs and higher lows. And we are right now holding that key 1.756. Natural gas right now, real time, 1.772. So we are above it. If we could get a nice, good higher high, we have a lot of nice target right there at that 2.17. If we can escalate over this 2.0, that's what your first target is, and then we want to get above that. So let's just see if we can make another higher high this week here, and that would put this in very, very bullish mode. Okay. Now, when we look here on your MACD, your green here is well, you're close, very, very close with that crossing over here. So let's just see if we can get a green candle and get that green above your red. This is what happens when that green gets above your red. Then we start escalating right on up here. Now, this time of the year with the seasonality, I'll post a seasonality chart here at midday trading. And it should be right now in time when natural gas should start be moving up here very nicely. Okay, here's what we have here on your daily chart. Okay, so we had a topping tail and then a red candle. 3 greens, topping tail, red candle, 3 greens. Topping tail, red candle. Now so far we have 2 greens. Let's just see how we can go, if we can get this rolling. Now, we had this candle here. Didn't look like much here. Look at this candle, indecision candle, pretty much the same as we had here. And then it took a day, to develop that. It's not going to be instant. So what we want to watch here on the upside is this key level, this 1.785. You're just below that right now. If we get above, and then we want to go at that 1.81. That's what we're looking at for today in the near term, okay? To get above this 50-day and get above that 8 SMA here to go higher. If we can, then we just follow the candles, 1.85 nicely. You have 1.89, 1.92, and then your big retest up here at 1.943. But what I want to show you is we had these 3 green candles, and we had a topping tail. It put in a higher high than that. Okay, the same way here. Now, again, if we can get those same candles, then we can get above that 1.943 and possibly to that 2.0. Let's see how it all shakes out here today. Now, downside, very, very critical, is this 21 day. This needs to hold by the end of the day. That's very, very key. That's 1.765. If that's lost, then what we do is we look to Friday's low. Okay, that will be your next support level at 1.731, and then we can follow the candles. Okay, 1.70, 1.86. There's your gap. Look to the top of there, 1.67. There's your fill. Okay, then we can always come down to 1.64 and 1.58. But when you look at this chart, okay, yeah, see you have a low, higher low, higher low, and higher low setup. That's always very, very bullish unless you lose that 1.58. So even if this comes down, it's still a bullish pattern. The key is we just have to go be a breakout here. Okay, so what we're looking for, once you get above this key 2.0, then we can start heading upwards very, very nicely. Where do you have that 2.16? This is the candle that you're looking for. Now 1.268, which lines up very, very nicely here with that 21 day at 2.17. Again, above that, you have 2.21. But this is what you always want to watch is this fill. See, there's your gap, and then there's your fill. Eventually, that's going to get filled. You just got to have a little patience with it, okay? So I'll be looking for some scalps here today. And UNG is what I'm kind of looking at here. If not, we'll look at the KOLD here if it's going to be a short side. Now, again, if it loses this 21-day, closes below that, then I'd say then you can take a nice short and maybe down to this gap fill or maybe even 1.64 level here. But again, right now, I don't want to do that because what we have going on here is you're stuck right between, you got a pinball action between your 21-day here and your 50-day. So we got to see which one's going to outwin this. If you can get above that, then you want to have that key 8 SMA. Then we'd be looking nice to just go higher. So let's just see if we can get 3 weeks in a row. You got 1 week, 2 weeks. Let's go see if we can get 3 weeks and possible higher high. Okay, let's take a look here on an hourly and a 4-hour. Okay, here we have your 4-hour chart now. This is actually looking still very, very good. Okay, so we did hold this level here, which we were looking for to hold. That was at basically 1.75 level here. We didn't hold it. We put in a little bit lower low here last week at 1.73. But now, if we can start getting above a lot of these levels here, then we can start rallying up here to that 1.94. But when you look at this here, see you have a series of higher highs. That's always good, okay? And then we have some higher lows here, which is good. So if you take this one and this one and this one, here we still have that series. It's not perfect by no means, but you know, if we can keep this 1.73 here rolling, then you're doing good. Now again, if that 1.73 is lost, then we just take the price channel going right across, and then we have, what do you have there? 1.70. This channel right across, and then what do you get? Okay, 1.686. And then you want to come to the top of this candle. That's at 1.65 roughly. There's your gap. There's your gap fill. So there's your gap, and then there's your fill, and then you have a retest all the way down here. But let's just see if we can just keep on rolling this right on up here. Just be a little bit of patience. Now, what do we have on your hourly chart here? Well, we had a nice good W pattern. See this? Very, very nice. Rally right on up here. But when you look at this here, you have a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder, and then that sunk it right on down. Now, we couldn't hold that key bottom area, but we did hold pretty much all the way down here, this 1.70. We never got all the way down to that, which is very, very good, okay? So now we have some sideways action. So let's just see if we can start busting above this 50 SMA. That would be the first key, and then we head right for that 1.79, and then right for that 1.82 level here, okay? So let's just see, we just have some sideways action. Okay, let's just see if we can just bust out just a little bit higher here to get this natural gas moving. Okay, so that's what I got for you here on crude and natural gas. I'll be back here at midday trading, and we'll go a little bit more in depth, and then I'll have a seasonality chart for you here on natural gas. All right, thanks for watching.